Hi, I am Dr. Puja. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and I thought, hey, let me answer 4 of the most common questions that I get in my clinic about hairline fractures. Let's see if I can provide some insight about what's going to happen with Mr. Biden for the next coming weeks. So a question that I commonly get is, hey, well, what is a stress fracture? So why don't we take a look at a stress fracture? And for that, we're gonna go over to the Mayo Clinic's website right there. So here you see a picture of a foot, that's where my cursor is. Essentially, a stress fracture or a hairline fracture is basically a tiny little crack in the bone. It's not a complete break of the bone, but it's a tiny little crack. Usually, we'll see this with a lot of repetitive injuries, such as a lot of jumping, a lot of running, so runners can often get this. In Mr. Biden's case, it was as he was playing with his puppy or with his dog over the weekend. I just got a puppy, so that's why I said puppy. So let's take a look at the location where Joe's fractured his foot. Okay, so the green and yellow bones right here that are outlined for you, the bone that Joe's fractured. It's on the outside part of the foot, as you can see, so the green one right there, and then the yellow one, green, yellow. So the other question that I get is, hey, can a stress fracture heal on its own? So let's take a look at a picture or an x-ray of a stress fracture. This circular little haziness, that's not supposed to be on your foot. You see the tiny little line that almost is going through the bone, but it's not really going through the bone all the way. That basically is a stress fracture. The interesting thing is a lot of times stress fractures are not going to be seen on an x-ray. And that's what occurred with Joe. So he went in on Saturday. He was initially diagnosed with a sprain of his ankle. And then the next day went in because obviously the pain was still going on, got a CAT scan, and then the CAT scan revealed that he had a stress fracture. So the next question that I get often is, hey, will a hairline fracture or a stress fracture, will that heal on its own? Yeah, I mean, the simple answer is yes, it can heal on its own like a lot of other things in our body. But if it heals improperly, you can actually then expect a lifelong process of just chronic pain. You can develop further injuries, further fractures, further soft tissue injuries. So here what you're seeing is seeing a picture of an ankle, a foot essentially. The redness is supposed to represent pain, inflammation. The nerves here, represent that this injury could cause a person to have chronic pain, lots of irritation over the years. So yeah, simple answer is yes, a stress fracture can heal by itself, but you really want to take, proper precautions to allow it to heal properly. So that's the reason why Joe is likely going to wear a walking boot for the next 6 weeks or so. The walking boot is going to allow Mr. Biden to kind of offload his body weight from the foot itself. Like he can still walk with the boot and you're gonna see that. So as he's walking on it, he is putting a little bit of weight on it, but that's okay. He's not putting his entire weight on it. So the other question is, hey, is a fracture, is a stress fracture or a hairline fracture, is that actually better than a break? I mean, if you think about it, a break is always going to be a little bit more problemsome. Think about it. It's a break. So here you're seeing breaks, so full fractures that have occurred in the arm of a person right here. So yeah, so a break is going to hurt more than a hairline fracture. So we hope Mr. Biden a speedy recovery, and for the next several weeks, you're gonna likely see him in a walking boot. He might have some pain, he might have some inflammation, he may need to elevate, ice, raise his leg at the end of the day. This is not going to be an injury that's gonna lead to any type of debilitation, so he's gonna be totally fine, doing his job, and hopefully he does a lot better.